morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kurojiri, your resident tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, first of all, I'd like to ask you guys to all take a nice deep breath and relax, because for the first time in a little over a month now, we finally have a little bit of a break. Which, given the recent EVA collaboration which came to an end, and a relatively busy third anniversary too with these last couple weeks, it's just been non-stop from beginning to end. And this week we finally have a little bit of a breather and a break. Even with the introduction of a couple new bots, one of which we've seen a pretty fair number of times already, I'm sure this is something going to be very openly welcomed by the community as a way to recoup some lost resources and kind of take that metaphorical breather, so to speak. That being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was announced this week going forward to start us off with the Valentine's season this week and next week. Starting up with the gacha banners, we don't have a lot, thankfully, but first of which is a brand new model being introduced into the game with a new leg ability at that. It is the Holy Trumpet sounding Archangel Gabriel type, GBL0 Gabriven, with a kit of Rebirth, Long Shot, Wide Break, Biped Legs, and the new leg ability of Rising, which explained briefly means for the first 5 attack actions completed, all leg stats minus armor and heavy limit will go up considerably by a certain percentage per use. So this means even if the leg stats don't look promising at first glance, it can honestly mean this model can be very dangerous and turn into a menace very quickly as long as they aren't taken down quickly. The second model that is going live this week is one we've seen a pretty fair number of times, as I said, and that is the Samurai type SAM-01F Tomoe, with the kit of Fight Boost, Beam Sword, Charge Drain, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Shura. Now, it was very apparent as I was breaking down the stuff for this week, it's going to be very obviously a ladies' week. Not just this week, but I highly suspect next week as well, it's going to be very heavily geared towards female-type bots. So for veterans that are in need of parts for female models, this is your chance. For rookies and new players that are joining relatively recently, this is a grade A opportunity as well, as normally female models don't really get a lot of really big spotlight high-end skills like, say, Long Shot or Wide Break, which Gabriven here in particular will be debuting for the female types, giving them a little more of an edge when in need of shooting combat on the field. Now, with the addition of these two, we also see 2 highlights on Spotlight models, which are models present in the permanent pool. And that is KNI-01 Ready Go, the Kunoichi type, with a kit of Defense Trap, Double Sword, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Mirage. And then behind her is RTL0 Fearlessness, with a kit of Reckless, Double Claw, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Super Armor. Now again, both of these models in particular are spotlights, which means they are already present in the permanent banner, and pulling on any limited or collaboration banner will give you a chance to net either of these two anyway. So that being said, I would recommend avoiding these two banners in particular, but if you find that you are in need of something that one or both of them offer, I'd say end up pulling at your own discretion. In particular, Fearlessness might actually have a little bit of an edge now that thanks to the 3.2 update, now that Claw has a way to shred through shields a lot faster than most normal skills. And of course, no one can really say no to Biped Legs with Super Armor to help keep those pesky paralyzed ailments off your tail. Now, with the Fierce battles we have going on this week, again, we're highlighting particularly a Ladies' Day and a Ladies' Week going forward. Highlighting that and spearheading us for the Fierce battles this week will be FSL0 Fancy Roll with the kit of Virus, Hammer, Napalm, Biped Legs, Flight Legs, and the leg ability of Mascot. Behind her, we see LBR0 Libra from the Navi Zodiac series with the kit of Gunpowder Guard, Gravity Guard, Anti-Air, Anti-Sea, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Primacy. And then, last but not least, the Zodiac Monkey type from Medarot R, HNM0 Hanu Monkey, with the kit of Shoot Trap, Heater, Hammer, Biped Legs, finally, and All-Rounder leg ability. Again, Even if all three of these models don't really offer anything particularly powerful or game-breaking, as you'd expect of, say, a really good Fierce Battle or even a Gacha-type model in the pools, these are still some relatively versatile models if used correctly, and specifically, because we're looking at all female models this week, this is going to be a very good week to stock up on some female parts for the libraries and make use of, because in PvP and Super Invasions, there are going to be a lot of times where you're faced with, say, a females-only challenge, which means gender end parts and male parts are not allowed. And it will be important that you do have a pretty fair amount of female parts ready to go of varying skills to kind of help compensate and bounce back on parts that may not be, say, as powerful as something else. That being said, for an MVP of the week, I would honestly have to give it to Fancy Roll, given that for folks that may not have picked up on Fancy Ale, which is the upgrade, Fancy Roll is basically just a step down, but just as nasty and just as much of a nuisance as Fancy Ale can be. Lever can also be very good for anti-air and anti-sea as mentioned, even if those skills are particularly niche. And Hanu Monkey is definitely good for novelty and collection, but I do have to say of the three here, Fancy Roll definitely is the one that wins out. Now, this has been around actually since yesterday, kind of highlighting and spearheading the Valentine's Day events going forward, but we were also dropped 3 new SR Medarotters specializing for the Valentine's season. And those are specialized dresses and outfits for Medarotters Casilla, Chikori, and Marie, all of which were main characters from Medarot 8. For the new skills that they're offering here on the table, Hatsula will offer a boost to melee-based attacks and skills, as well as a boost to success a certain number of times stacked once the effect is activated. Chikori in particular will buff success by 900, movement by 150, and your crit rate by 50% for one turn. So definitely very good for guaranteeing that strong hit is going to land and it's going to be as painful as possible. And last but not least, Marie will buff CG, 80% of CG into heat, and if using flight legs, you will get an additional 60% more on top of that, guaranteeing you are going to be the first of the line once that effect goes active. Even if it's only for one turn, that can honestly be the difference between Doom and a game-breaking turn of the table back in your favor. Now, for the Valentine's season, they did also highlight we will be getting a specialized Super Invasion titled For My Valentine, showcasing a lot of the lovely lady-type designs that we have had through the years as particular enemies and combatants to face once that challenge goes live. So best of luck with that, Medarotters, and I will be sure to update the Super Invasion guide, which will be in the Google Docs link description below for anyone that does need a breakdown and list of what those challenges may offer. Now, something else that was highlighted, kind of like as a teaser going forward, and that is on Valentine's Day itself, which is exactly a week from today, no less. Anyone that logs in will be given a special daily login bonus highlighting all 4 of the maid outfit Medarotters from last year. That includes Valentine's outfits for Hisaki, Otori, Ibuki, and Nozomi in rare rank forms. Now, for folks that have been around playing longer than a year, this is going to be nothing new to you. This will just be nothing more than just a quick boost to all 4 of those for your collection. But for new players that are joining recently or just started playing, this will be a good opportunity to pick up some more nice Medarotters to make use of, especially ones that can offer you passive skills and bonuses that you can activate on the field. And one last final thing that was mentioned, and this was actually kind of a shock to me, but I'm still kind of searching for details to confirm this officially, but it sounds to me like the Medarot Reloaded manga is officially coming to an end and is getting ready to post its final chapters. That being said, to specialize and highlight this particular event of another long-running Medarot series each week going from pretty much from here, they are also releasing specialized pickup banners to celebrate. Those banners include SPI-05 Yacht Spider with a kit of Death Block, the Power Hammer, Multi-Legs, and the Weapon Master leg ability. And then, of course, a relatively recent model that was introduced, LCF-0 Old Superbia, with the kits of Bug, Confusion, Blow Away, and the leg ability of Haja on biped legs. And then lastly, we do also get to see the SR Medarotter banner go up for Kagami and Katsuma, again highlighting the main protagonist and specialized bots that debuted in the Reloaded manga, and very slowly made their way to Medarot S with their introductions. I can't really say how long these banners will be live, but if anyone is in need of models, these two and the Medarotters are both very solid to get a hold of and make use of, and very good parts you really can't ever go wrong with using. With the community front, progress towards Medarot 3 is still very much so ongoing and making great strides. In fact, I was even told recently that the main leaders that work toward the translation project are now starting to work on decompiling Medarot 4, which means the reality is very slowly coming into light. Now, despite that, however, there is still a lot of code and a lot of text that needs translated for Medarot 3, as currently everything up to Chapter 1 and the battle menus have been translated into English. So we would love some assistance with that. And again, with the Reloaded manga coming to an end, we still have a lot, and I mean a lot of chapters that still need translated. So if you do have any knowledge in coding or cleaning or Japanese and have some time on your hands, we are more than appreciative of any efforts that you'd be willing to provide, or even spread word around for us and help us get some exposure for this. If you have any questions, you're more than happy to reach out to me or join us in the PRB Discord in the link provided also below to ask around, and we will get you in touch with the right people with everything that needs done and everything that has been done to date. Now, the Medarot News Network Weekly Art Highlight, I honestly had a lot of fun with this one, but then again, when do I ever not have fun finding art to highlight and brag on some artist friends of mine that I follow? This week, honestly, I've been seeing a lot, and I mean a lot, of fan art specializing in Kurojiri Bison, who was introduced last week, and Swai, who was introduced the week before that, as two models designed and debuted by Fujioka Sensei himself. This week, certainly, with the art highlights, is no exception to this. With this piece here by Twitter user MousePieceF, who did a very nice pose, an action pose designed for Swai. And this Twitter user here, Twitter user Resaise, if I did pronounce that correctly, highlighting Kurojiri Bison both in robot and in meta change form. Honestly, I really do like both of these designs, and Kurojiri Bison is definitely going to be a top favorite of mine going forward, especially with how versatile he can be when used correctly. So, wonderful work to both of these artists if you are watching me, and if not, definitely give both of them a follow to add more Medarot to your daily Twitter daily Twitter handles. But with all that being said, I do believe that covers everything for this week's episode, so again, I do always appreciate you all for stopping by, just as you always have. If you'd like to know more, you can follow us on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page and the Metabots Forever communities on there. You can also join us on Discord, Project Rising Beetle's official Medarot Discord server, in the link provided in the comments below, and this will be the closest ear to the ground on anything related to Medarot you can look for. This includes any new merchandise, manga updates, game translations, fan art, my weekly episodes. That's the first place you will see it before it goes anywhere else. On that, you can also reach out to me personally on Twitter at IsagamIKura. If you have any questions or feedback or comments, or even just want to reach out and say hello, I leave my DMs open for that very reason. So don't be a stranger, feel free to drop in and say hello, or if you are a streamer or YouTuber that would love to collaborate or even hop on the MNN with me one week and coordinate an episode, I would love to have you. So feel free to stop in, say hello, or even ask around for that possibility, and I'll be sure to get back to you when I can. Before I leave, definitely give both of these friends of mine a follow as well. Twitter user Raven20135086, who's been doing a lot of very nice Blender work in design and animation, using designs from Medarot as their base inspiration and model sources. Fantastic work. I've been watching very closely with the designs, and this has been looking fantastic with the kind of work that they've been pumping out. And then my friend here, Utahime, on Twitter as well, at Utahime00, who also has been working in Blender as well, and is one of the main modelers for Kamikami-chan, with her 3D model as well when she posts around and uses it. So again, wonderful work to the both of you. I love seeing updates that you share, and definitely give both of these people a follow as well if you'd like to see more of their progress in your feeds. But with all that being said, once again, I do appreciate you all for stopping by, just as you always do. Until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.